The show Too Long Didn't Scroll continues with its 32nd episode today, and I welcome you all to it. This show gives you a quick and listenable 5-minute summary of the previous day's news events every day as an alternative to scrolling to what may seem like an endless news feed. Find the show on YouTube, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and other podcast apps to find out whatever happened in the world on any particular day. Hopefully, you will learn some stuff from this channel. We start the 32nd day of the show on February the 20th of 2023 in the countries of Turkey and Syria, which are still reeling from a series of earthquakes and subsequent aftershocks back on February the 6th, which reached magnitudes of up to 7.8, killing and injuring tens of thousands of people across the two countries and destroying countless pieces of infrastructure. As a result of the earthquakes, Turkey and Syria, to an unfortunately lesser extent, has received much humanitarian aid from nations across the world as search, rescue, and salvage operations occurred across the two countries to help the nations rebuild in the wake of what was the fifth strongest earthquake in the 21st century. However, the tremors in the countries have yet to cease, as series after series of aftershocks continue to rock the regions intermittently for the next few weeks. As of today, near the southeast border of Turkey with Syria, another series of quakes ranging in magnitudes between 5.8 and 6.4 proceeded to cause already weakened buildings in the area to fully collapse and destroy even more pieces of infrastructure, and injuring hundreds of others, with estimates between 200 and 600. With this most recent set of tremors, the total number of people killed by the recent earthquakes in the two countries is now over 47,000. We now head on over to the country of Ukraine, which is bracing for impact as the renewed Russian offensive has appeared to have begun in certain regions, particularly in the now extremely war-torn Bakhmut. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has pleaded with allies for a greater pouring of support into the country as soldiers and civilians settle in for another wave of attacks. And it appears today he may have started to receive an answer from the United States of America. As of today, American President Joe Biden has paid a surprise visit to the Ukrainian capital of Kiev, just days ahead of the anniversary of the Russian invasion. Biden's visit is particularly significant due to the rarity of American presidents making visits to active war zones, especially in countries it does not have an active military presence in, like the Ukraine. While meeting with Zelenskyy, during which the two shared a deep hug, the Ukrainian First Lady and other officials, Biden confirmed that America will be sending a further $500 million in aid packages, as well as additional ammunition for the HIMARS military system to further help it combat Russian attackers. Biden has affirmed that America will continue to remain committed for as long as possible to preserving Ukraine's territorial integrity. The Guardian has deemed such a visit to be the most significant executive action by America ever since the Cold War. Meanwhile, in Israel, protests across the country are erupting in the wake of a proposal made under the Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, which is particularly controversial among the Israeli populace and potentially under threat of facing criminal investigation and charges. The proposal aims to overhaul the Israeli legal system by allowing the Israeli parliament and executive branch to override decisions made by the Supreme Court if a majority vote in the parliament overruling it passes. Such could theoretically allow the Israeli government to bypass any undesirable rulings made by the court should they desire and give it more power over the country's legal affairs, which has been met with much controversy, especially surrounding accusations against Netanyahu for trying to secure power for himself. These recent rounds of protests have attracted tens of thousands of objectors to the proposal, as objections across the country are collectively raised.